Hey guys, I just want to say ahead of time that I am catching a cold, or I've already caught one, so I do have a lot of sniffling, runny nose, and coughing going on lately, so please bear with me on that. Hey there, how are you guys doing in the heat? Oh, me on Son, we're doing good. Is that our refreshment? Thanks a bunch. You're such a great manager. I just felt like coming here. I didn't bring this for you, by the way. And don't treat me as your manager without my permission, please. Maybe a stronger team if you were our manager, Mian. Why don't you apply as manager, I mean? Satoshi got smiled at me in a carefree manner. I didn't want to become their manager, it'd be tiresome. Been coming every week though, so I'm a quasi manager already. Well, I feel like it anyway. How's Satoshi Kon doing, coach? Is he battling average? Is his batting average improving? Yes, he's doing fine. His batting average is well. He bought 3 packs of rice crackers at 7 smart. Does that mean it's 30%? Wow, you're doing great, Satoshi Kon. It's not just about the number, Mian. I'm able to hit the ball when it really counts. It's good that you're aware of your weakness, Satoshi Kon. You just continue working on them for now. I signaled to the pitcher who then threw the ball. Satoshi Kon looked calm, following the ball with his eyes, then he swung. Thwack. The ball flew between first and second bases and landed in the distance. Wow, that's great. Good job, Satoshi Kon. I clapped, and Satoshi Kon blushed in response. He repositioned his helmet to hide his face. Well, he's good in practice, and when the game is slow, I smiled compassionately. You see, that Satoshi Kon really could have performed well when it counted. While he was usually good when everybody expected him to perform, he couldn't. I didn't think it was because of the nervousness, he just couldn't do it. I think it's a perfect fit for Satoshi Kon's character. He seems calm at first glance, but he's actually slow. Numerically speaking, you're a great player, but you need to be able to hit the ball even when things would get serious. That's why you were on an easy out in the match with the Yukita Jaguars the other day. Shut up, I know that. If he'd be able to hit the ball, then he would have been a hero. What a shame. A hit could have put the offense into lead, or at least give them an extension. That was what Satoshi Kon came up to bat. I really wanted him to live up to everybody's expectations, but statistically, that wasn't likely to happen. Yet I already insisted on giving him a chance, in spite of the fact that all the team members had suggested a pinch hitter. I would have been perfect if he could have hit it. Why didn't you? Why couldn't you hit the ball in a situation when it really matters? There was nothing I could do. I know I'm weak in a situation like that. I thought a pinch hitter was a better idea too. That's not a match. It's about you, Satoshi Kon, or you need to be more aggressive. You shouldn't have thought the opposite way. Sure, you have insisted that you go up to bat no matter what everyone else said. I can't believe you wanted to give away the chance to some pinch hitter. Why are you so weak like that? That's what I'm always telling him. I know that's one of his good points too, but you can be a good gentleman. You can be a gentleman at other times, but when playing games, you should be a demon. I think all the men should have those two sides to them. You need to let your demon out, Satoshi Kon. You're native to Hinamizawa, so never forget that you have the demon's blood running through your veins. Are you listening, Satoshi Kon? I am. I'm not sure, but what are you sure about? We're talking about you. So, whoa, wow. Satoshi Kon suddenly started jerking my head. He looked delighted for some reason. A blush immediately spread across my face. I didn't know how to respond. You're giving me advice, right? Thanks, I'll do my best. Hey, don't you try to fool me. I'm not. I'm just happy that you care about me. I couldn't resist his hand. I couldn't help but mumbling like he does. Satoshi Kon ran back to the field, leaving me as a beat. Do you feeling good when you have your head stroked? Depends. If for you, I'd teach you a new martial arts technique. Ah, what a shame. Alright, everyone gather around. Why don't you split into groups at a practice match? Hinamizawa fighters are sort of a lazy team. The members gather simply to enjoy playing baseball, not to fight for victory. The Okonomiya Titans use this field too, but they all practice on a different day of the week. They always train hard using dumbbells and stuff. Our team split into 2 groups and started a match retaining their loose atmosphere. I'll keep track of the score. Coach, do you have a pencil? Thanks for helping out. Here. I took the pencil and the clipboard. I didn't know how to differentiate between recording hits and errors at first, but by now I was used to it. Show me what you got, Satoshi-kun. Or maybe it'll be too much pressure if I cheer for you too excessively. Just do okay then. That doesn't sound very encouraging either. Do your best. Time passed slowly that Sunday. Huge white clouds appeared in the sky. They made me feel healthy. Humans are born to be active under the sun. One of the parents was acting as an umpire today, so Irie sat on the bench with me. He shouted words of encouragement to the kids while they ran to their positions. And the other baseball coach would be constantly berate them, but he was much more generous, like a kindergarten teacher. He let the kids have fun while watching over them. Two other baseball players that might look a little naive. I'm surprised you guys could do well with the leader swab out of practice. Kids in Hinamizawa romp around every day, so the amount of exercise they get surpasses that of the city kids. Besides, too much training is not always effective. While you think completely different from the Okinawa Titans, I can understand why their coach hates you. It's not about being right, it's about just exist for someone to win after all, so prioritizing the victory certainly isn't wrong. I think it's a admirable day for victory together, but the goal of our team doesn't happen to be victory, that's all. The individual fighters of the Okinawa Titans have been rivals for a long time. Both teams shared the same baseball field for one thing, and originally there was only one team, but the people living in Hinamizawa left and made their own. Anyhow, we were rivals. The Okinawa Titans were strictly just about winning, and the Hinamizawa fighters were just about having fun. Surprisingly, our scores weren't that different, which meant our team had something they didn't. Even though I could put it into words, I knew what made that happen. Hey, Team 1, no slacking. You can make up the 2-point difference pretty easily. Team 2, no slacking either. Still, some parents would criticize our coach for being too lenient, but still others would strongly agree with them. Which side should I take, or would I take? In the latter, I couldn't really say for sure. The reason for this was that Irie had an obnoxious habit of sexual harassment. In particular, he had a fascination with the maids, but I should talk about this some other time. Satoshi-kun let the ball pass twice to see his trajectory, then hit it on the third pitch and ran to first base. Oh, he did it. He's so good when he's relaxed. In the beginning, he used to get tired very easily. He's improved quite a lot since then. He really does look like a kind of a bookworm. I wonder why he started playing baseball in the first place. Well, the other kids who joined the baseball team loved baseball. They'd go out to play in the fields outside of practice. That's why they all had an aptitude for it. But since never said that Satoshi-kun exercises artistically in school or anywhere else, he really likes to read. That's why I didn't understand why he started playing for this team to begin with. That's because I invited him. Is that so? You recruited him. Did you notice some sort of hidden talent? Excuse me, can I have a cup of barley tea? Thank you, Harry asked for the tea in a suspicious manner. While he constantly joked around, I knew he was actually a very mature person. I assumed he was trying to fade my question. Is there any particular reason? I was pretending he didn't hear me, but I pressed him on it, and in response, he shrugged, beginning answering the question. I think he might be able to guess what would be on Sadasaki's guess. I quickly searched through the data I had on Satoshi-kun. I came up with Satoshi-kun's family circumstances. He lost his parents an accident over a year ago. Since then, he's been having a tough time at his uncle's home. So you invited him so that he could vent. Supports are great. You can free yourself through exercise. I thought that as long as he concentrated on something else, he could forget about his troubles at home. Or, he's usually sort of a daydream or something out all the time. He's still stressed. I knew Satoshi-kun must be suffering, even though he didn't look like it. But me honest, I was lucky never pays attention to things like that and how to act like she does. Satoshi-kun got really sick after his uncle took him into custody. He had many clinical symptoms, but the causes were unknown. Satoshi-kun often got sick. After he was taken to his uncle's custody, he suffered from fatigue and migraines. He suffered from a lack of energy and sleeplessness. The coach, Dr. Ari, soon realized Satoshi-kun was suffering from a psychological disorder. Most of the people in Hinamizawa knew how bad Satoshi-kun's environment was. It was natural for him to become sick because he entered that bad environment right after his parents' deaths. Hojo-san could not express himself freely, whether he is crying or simply being agitated. He's not good at handling these emotions. That's true, I can't imagine him being angry or crying. Did you know Hojo's son's mother had been married a few times already? Yeah, I know a little bit about that. Satoshi-kun's mother had been married a number of men over the years. That meant Satoshi had several stepfathers. He had to deal with strangers coming into his home multiple times, so he was forced to be mature. Satoshi-kun is mentally underdeveloped. He isn't aware of it himself. He didn't have enough time to cry, laugh, and throw tantrums in his childhood. He was forced to become a grown-up in just a short time. That doesn't sound right. children have to behave like children in order to grow. There's something positive about being forced to become an adult. Not only was Satoko's current relationship with her conspicuously terrible, I heard that her relationship with her previous step-parents weren't good either. Satoko always caused problems, and Satoshi-kan was always stepping to protect her. I thought his physical symptoms came from stress. His body was trying to warn him, but that's why Irie invited Satoshi-kan onto the baseball team. He told Satoshi that he needed a new member or something like that. He hesitated at first, but after I talked to him at the clinic a few times, he began to open up to me. First, I invited him to come see the practice, and I suggested he try batting. I eased him into it. Sports worked excellently for Satoshi-kan. His health quickly improved, and he started to become interested in baseball. He practiced batting and was soon able to swing beautifully in hand. He learned how to see the trajectory of the ball. Well, I can imagine that he likes to read, so he must have read a book titled How to Play Baseball or something like that. He's become a very good batter very quickly. He's put forth a lot of effort, though I wish he could actually hit when it comes down to the wire, too. Are you guys close? I think so. He talks to me about his problems, so I guess that's a sign of trust. I felt a bit jealous of how confident Harry said that. While Satoshi-kan and I were friends, we weren't so close that we'd open up to each other like that. How, are you jealous? Yeah, about what? I took it back. I blushed. I already started laughing at me. Please stay as his good friend. Well, yeah, I'm trying. I don't know what I was saying. You know, regarding Hojo-san, he seems a little sick again lately. What? Black, the ball flew to the left, but the left fielder managed to catch it. It seemed that the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had gotten worse lately. It was obvious that sickness had something to do with that. Their aunt was bullying Satoko-chan in a terrible way. She's become worn out after all that. And so, Satoshi-kan is also worn out from covering for Satoko, wasn't he? I wasn't interested in Satoko, so I switched the subject back to Satoshi-kan. I didn't know much about Satoko. I knew that she was a big part of Satoshi-kan's life, but I'd never been interested in her until today. She must have been building up her self-esteem and taking care of her unreliable brother. That was all I knew about her, but in considering Satoshi-kan's personality, even that goofiness of his might have been an act. Maybe he was trying to make her feel good about herself by letting her take care of him. If only unconsciously, when he's alone, he's surprisingly strong. I realized that only recently, so I couldn't help but think that his whole life is constantly affected by Satoko. Satoshi-kan managed to get along with his stepfathers even though he experienced some stress. He was even getting along with his aunt. In order to protect Satoko, he always had to step in and suffer. I didn't really know anything about Satoko, but I had to admit I felt hostile towards her. I felt jealous because she was monopolizing him. It seems that their aunt had been tyrannizing Satoko-chan even more lately. That must be what's causing Satoshi-kan's sickness. I heaved a sigh. As he said, Satoshi-kan had been absent a few times lately. He seemed a bit tired, too. He looked normal when they were around. Around everybody else, but he looked a bit depressed when he was alone. So you invited him to join the team to relieve his stress, didn't you? Yes, that's right. But he looks stressed again now. How can we save him this time? I don't know. Harry smiled powerlessly. I couldn't help feeling a bit disappointed about that, but because Satoshi-kan put his trust in him. Just between you and me, Satoshi-kan recently told me that he wanted to leave the team. How come? He claimed that he was tired of it, that's what he said, but I believe he actually wants to spend more time with Satoko-chan. He thinks that Satoko-chan might end up being tortured while he's at practice. I think he's concerned about that. I was left speechless for a while. Satoko. Why did Satoshi-kan have to sacrifice so much for her? Just by ignoring her, his stress would melt away. Of course, I knew he couldn't do that. If that were the case, then the blame would lie with his little sister. I knew how badly she'd been treated, but that only happened because she made things worse for herself. It was her fault that she couldn't establish a decent relationship with her aunt. If Satoko were more mature like Satoshi-kan, or her home life wouldn't have gotten so bad, Satoshi-kan wouldn't have to suffer those indirect blows. In the meantime, the baseball team's practice match had become one-sided. It wasn't even worth watching anymore. The members of the losing team were just goofing off. The sky had turned cloudy, too. It was depressing. It didn't look like it would rain soon, though. The gray sky had brought along any cool air. It just felt disgusting. Ari became quiet. It was looking down around his feet. I meanwhile just stared at Satoshi-kan. To me, he didn't look more active anymore. He was able to enjoy playing baseball, and he felt fine. But he got sick again just because the relationship between Satoko and her aunt had deteriorated. I couldn't help but say it. So should we do something about Satoko instead? It was just a murmur, but I definitely had caught it. Wait, what? Do you mean, Sonozaki-san? It's not that complicated. If Satoko was stronger, Satoshi going to deal with stress. I think Satoko is the cause of everything. And I don't know about that. Yes, she do. If she didn't cause you trouble, he wouldn't have to step in, would he? He wouldn't have to take over in the fight between Satoko and her aunt, right? Satoshi never got scared of any trouble, no matter how formidable the enemy. He'd bravely stand up to protect the weak. I knew that because I could vividly imagine it. Whenever the aunt tried Satoko, Satoshi ended up saying to protect her, and probably didn't like it. Though Satoshi didn't have to fight, the aunt would attack him anyway. The fight would then be between the aunt and him. Satoko might then tease his aunt by sticking out her tongue, hiding behind his back, and pretending to be scared. She'd never think about how deeply he was being hurt. Because of Satoko, Satoshi had become cornered and stressed. I was surprised to hear this would be Sonozaki-san. I thought you were Satoko's Jen's friend, or classmate, or big sister kind of figure. I thought you'd always be by on her side of what. But what you said is surprising to me. Ari looked at me suspiciously. I could tell when he was I could tell what he was thinking about me. I said too much. Mion Sonozaki and Satogo are friends. They're close, so Mion should have been encouraging her if the situation at home got tougher. That's what Mion was supposed to do. I totally forgot about that and spoke it as myself. It's only natural that Ari would give me a suspicious look. He might end up changing his depression on Mion Sonozaki entirely. I have to apologize to her about this, and I was going to put things right. I totally messed up. Even so, I didn't think I said anything wrong. But I objectively looked at the situation and made a modest proposal. To be honest, I was simply afraid that he might leave the team. I couldn't go to the school in Hinamisawa, so the baseball field was the only place where I could see. I could even say that it was my reasons for leaving. Or living? Wait, was it living or leaving? I don't know. That's why I was in love with him. But I wasn't going to tell him how I felt. For I was satisfied just being by his side. I certainly couldn't ask for anything more. After all, I couldn't reveal my true identity. I had to pretend to be Mion in order to live in Okunomiya. I thought that maybe I should leave Okunomiya in order to be free. But that's stupid. No matter how tough my life might be, I prefer to be here with Satoshi stroking my head every now and then. Why did I love him that much? I read about it in a manga once. You don't need a reason to be in love. I was surprised at myself for being like this. Calm down, Shion. I breathed in and out slowly, then held my breath. Trying to be slow in my throbbing heart, I felt a bit calmer. At that point, a clearer thought came into my head. I want to be with Satoshi. So, I want him to stay on the team. So, I want to get rid of this concern and stress. So what? So, what could I do to achieve all that? My head started to cool down as I heard the umpire shout, "Game, set, and match." Damn, guys. Okay, I'm gonna take a break here. Maybe blow my nose, take some medicine, and cough like hell. And wait, let's just get past this part first. Some days I see him, sometimes I don't. Like clear sky gets cloudy. Rain will always stop eventually. I thought his absence was just like that, but he was actually on the verge of a breakdown. Okay, break time. Okay, guys, I took some medicine, wiped my nose a little bit. Let's get this going. The rainy season was just around the corner, and the air had become so humid that my shirt stuck to my skin. It had been a few weeks since Satoshi stopped showing up at baseball practice. I looked for him as soon as I arrived at the field. He's not here yet. Did I get here too early? I went to see him play in the field right when I got here. I started arriving late because of those feelings. However, he wasn't here today either. I didn't even bother hiding my disappointment anymore. If anybody knew by now how I felt. The team members of Mion's class came over to try to console me, but I shooed them away. What's going on, son? I was like, I said, are you feeling sick? Even Irie couldn't comfort me. I was aware he too knew why I was like this. I'm going home. I don't feel like watching the practice today. Look, we're having a meeting with Okunomiya Titans later. I wanted you to be there because you're our manager. Don't treat me like a manager. I never agreed to be one. I looked down, not knowing what to say. Alright, please help us again when you feel like it. Maybe I won't be coming back. If you really need a manager, look for somebody else. Please do come again, whenever you feel like it. Satoshi would be sad if you're not here when he comes back. I ignored him and turned around. I had already set up my schedule to be honest, so I didn't have to ask her every time anymore. I tried to contact her a couple of times to ask how Satoshi was doing at school, but I hadn't been able to get through to her. Apparently the hack insists that I might be in contact with Sis. In other words, Sis was being watched. As a result, it hasn't been easy to contact her. Kasai, who had been helping me contact her, seemed to also have been marked. People knew he was loyal to me. I hadn't seen him for a while either. All I could do was wonder how Satoshi-kun was doing. It was frustrating because there was no way for me to know. My head was filled with worries, but something surprised me out of the blue. Somebody called out to me when I was about to leave the field on my bike. Michan, hello. I'd never seen this girl before. Luckily, she called me Michan. There's only one person who refers me out to that way as far as I know. Reina, I'm surprised to see you here. Her name is, Reina Ryugu. Her real name was Reina, but she wants to be called Rina. Okay, so that's why we call her. She moved here in April. I had some information on her, but it was all ambiguous. Sis was still a bit uncertain about her since she's so new. It was hard for me to handle someone like that. I didn't know how to act around her as Mion, so I decided to pretend to be an obvious Saki move. That way she would talk to me as much as to me that Mion was simply feeling bad. Well, that's how I really am anyway. Are you going home, Michan? Yeah, I'm not feeling well, sorry. Let's go together then. I wouldn't say that I'd rather be alone, but there's only one road to Hinawazawa, so asking to be alone would look odd. The only way not to seem suspicious would be to walk home with her. Yeah, let's go. We didn't quietly got it. I unlocked my bike. Michan, do you have an umbrella? Nope, but it might rain soon, so let's hurry, since you don't have one. As she predicted, we were attacked by pouring rain on our way. We ended up taking shelter in a small shack in front of the bus stop. It's pouring, but it doesn't look like it's going to last long since the sky over there is clear. Yeah. I heard the sound of rain pattering on the rooftop and the raindrops jumping into puddles. It sounded loud, but it made me feel strangely calm. I zoned out for a moment and Rina talked to me while looking up at the rainy sky. I was worried about you because you look so down. All the baseball team members knew I was depressed because I hadn't seen Satoshi-kun recently. Most of them attend the school in Mazawa, so it wasn't surprising that she all knew as well. I hadn't been able to contact since these past few weeks, but I was sure she had an idea of how I feel about Satoshi-kun and how I would feel if he didn't come to baseball practice. This was probably between to act like a little depressed during her day-to-day, and Hinawazawa to avoid creating a big gap between our roots. But neither of us knew the details about the other right now, so she wouldn't be able to answer if others asked her what's wrong. She'd only be able to say, at least be alone. That might lead more people to become worried. Rita must have thought me I was depressed. That must be why she came all the way to see me. So you must have known what was going on because she knew that I was at the baseball field. Do you feel lonely because Satoshi-kun is avoiding us? Having to deduce what was going on with Satoshi-kun from me, what you just said. She admitted distancing himself from others lately because of exhaustion. That's what it sounded like, at least. He looked like he was very worried about Satoko-chan. I think he's really on edge. I feel bad for him. He really cares about his sister. He has a lot of courage. But I said sounded hollow as I knew too well how much of a burden Satoko had become. But I think he would feel even worse if he also looked that depressed, I think. I don't want that. I know, but if you really don't, then you need to smile for him. Otherwise, he might feel real cornered. I know you're strong. You can smile even if it's just to pretend. So I want you to smile no matter what. You know that lies can become true sometimes. What she was saying is in a nutshell was that both Satoshi-kun and Satoko were totally wiped out. Rihanna was also depressed, even though she's the sort of a person who usually lightens the mood. Their situation would be stuck in a vicious cycle. Rina sounded more like she was trying to give me advice, trying to counsel me. She must be more mature than she looks. Sis told me that she was a funny girl with a few bad habits, but she seemed to have another very mature side to her. Do you love Satoshi-kun? Yeah. Though I should have told her that, I immediately responded. In that case, why don't you smile? Rina smiled herself. I believe Satoshi-kun will feel better if he sees your smile. I know you feel powerless now, but your smile will give him strength. I know what you're saying, but it's not that easy. Rina giggled and nodded. He'll come back after he's done with his part-time job. His part-time job? I almost asked that question, but I managed to stop myself. But the tone of Rina's voice sounded like he was something everyone knew. His part-time job, I know when it'll end. Until he has enough money, I guess, but it'll finish by Satoko's birthday at the latest. I tried to figure out what was going on from what she just said. And listen very carefully to cover the whole picture. So Toshiko seems to be working in order to make some money. I don't think it's easy to find a job when you're still in school, since might have had something to do with it. His job only seemed temporary, so it seemed that it has to do with Satoko's birthday. It wasn't that difficult to figure out, but Satoshi was working, saving up to buy his sister something expensive for her birthday. He was trying to comfort her, even though he was so torn up himself. Satoshiko was already worn out because of her, and now working for her sake, even though he was exhausted. How stupid. It would be easier for him to just forget about Satoko. Tisk. I was startled when I realized Rita was looking straight into my eyes. She was smiling, but her eyes looked creepy. I never voiced what I was thinking, but she was looking at me as though she figured out what I was blaming Satoko. She noticed my fear. She smiled as though she understood what I thought that way because of love. She was giving me the creeps. I could hear thunder roar in the distance. The rain began to pick up. Do you feel jealous of Satoko-chan because she monopolizes Satoshi-kun? I wouldn't answer immediately this time, but Rita seemed to know where I was thinking already. I wouldn't be upset even if you did. That's just how it is when you're in love. Thanks. You made encouraging Satoko-chan despite that. That's admirable. Of course I have. She's my friend. I sounded so fake. I felt like spitting on the floor. All I can do is encourage Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun. I don't know how to save them from their situation. Satoko is relying on Satoshi-kun way too much. If she was stronger, he wouldn't have to suffer in her place. You sounded really straightforward. Rina nodded with her unflinching smile, even though my remarks could have been taken as harsh. What was this mysterious girl thinking? It was difficult to get a read on her. Maybe Satoshi-kun feels that way a little too. Rina kept smiling, but her smile looked strangely cold. I think he's tired of protecting Satoko-chan, and he's aware of that. Given the type of person Rina is, I don't think she'd say something if she wasn't certain of it. Because of that, she must have been confident in what she just told me. Why do you think that? He said so. What? Satoshi-kun secretly confessed to her. Rina asked me to keep it that way. Satoshi-kun told me that he felt tired of protecting Satoko-chan. He was feeling guilty, though. I don't think he would say something like that, but however, it was unlikely that Rina was lying. I just met her, so I didn't know what made me feel that way. But my hunch told me that she was telling the truth. Uh-oh, guys, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, okay, I cut the sneeze out. I had the huge sigh. Satoshi-kun must have gotten so tired that he couldn't help telling someone. Even so, even if he thought that way, he wouldn't tell somebody so easily. Maybe Rita led him to do so. She might be capable of something like that. I don't understand this girl. It already been a little while since we met, but I had already started talking about something that was keeping deep inside of me. That she has some kind of supernatural power to reach into people's minds and drag out what they were thinking. It suddenly hit me that I was sitting with this creepy girl in a tiny shack. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I've been dragged into a strange world. I don't think Sister realized Rita's real personality. She thinks Rita's just a funny girl with some strange habits. She would have told me if she knew. I guess Satoshi-kun must trust you alive. He confessed that to you. I'm a little jealous. It must not be because he trusts me. I think it's because I've experienced the same thing. You what? Did you also have to cover from your siblings once? Those footsteps always followed me. They even came to my bedside. Looked down at me, huh? Sorry, Rita. What are you talking about? I turned around to face her. I got the chills. Though she was smiling, her eyes looked ice cold. I trembled. I froze with my eyes open. Have you experienced anything like that? I guess not, probably. Rita kept laughing self-derisively. I didn't figure out what she was saying. Have you ever thought of leaving Hinamizawa and moving to a big city? Have you ever thought of doing something like that? I didn't know how to respond. Rita waited for my answer. He's urging me to speak with her silence. No, I love it here. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I knew that. It didn't seem like a good idea to lie to her. Rita has some kind of power I can't grasp. She can read people's minds just by seeing the slightest change in their expressions. So I had to tell her the truth. It'll be okay if that's true. Oh, you're sure someone won't get mad at you. Oh, you're sure Osama. Oh, you're sure Osama. That he was our guardian Didi. I couldn't understand why she mentioned that name. My mind stopped for a moment. That's right. Oh, you're sure Osama. She calmly repeated the name as if trying to teach me something. Yeah, I remember. Oh, yeah, sure, someone never allows heathens to desecrate Hinamizawa. Oyashiro-sama never allows villagers to leave either. Those are the rules. Slowly, I recalled the fear of the curse which supposedly caused the dismemberment, murder, and the death of the Hojo couple. When I was sent to the institution, I had this fear. I was scared that if I went to that faraway boarding school, I'd fall under the curse. But I should be okay. I escaped from the school and returned to my hometown in Okinawa to be precise, but it should be okay according to the kids' rules because I love Inazawa. The hack forces me to live in this suffocated life, but I still chose to stay in this place. I don't believe in breaking Oyashiro-sama's rules. Even though the Shinozaki family had selfishly banished me to a remote place, I came back here anyway. Oyashiro-sama should bless me for that. I guess I'm trying to convince myself that the curse doesn't apply to me, but I think I'm still afraid of it. I love this place, so I don't think I qualify for the Oyashiro-sama's curse. You could even call me a model villager. Yes, I think so too, but I'm not sure about Satoshi-kun. Why? Satoshi-kun was sleeping in his own far away, even if it only unconsciously. Yeah, I gave it an audible cry while I was feeling sad that Satoshi-kun hadn't shown up for practice. He still lived in Inazawa, so I never even considered the thought of him going away. Are you saying that he was to skip town? Yes, he's not aware of it himself, though. He probably didn't notice it until Oyashiro-sama stood up by his bed. I still had no idea what she was talking about. I continued trying to figure out what she was saying. Everything he's going through is a sign of Oyashiro-sama's curse. You feel like someone is watching you from a distance and it follows you, and then it watches from right behind you. After that, you start hearing an extra footstep. It only happens outside at first, but you start hearing it even inside your house after a while. And Oyashiro-sama keeps watching you even when you're sleeping in the dark. Right by your side, waiting silently for you to admit your sin. Satoshi-kun told me he was having nightmares at first, so I asked him what kind of nightmares he was having. And those dreams he was having, as it turned out, were just like mine. I warned him that the presence would become bigger, and he'd hear an extra footstep and feel the presence watching him in his sleep. I told him to come to me if that ever happened. He must have been suspicious at first, but just as I predicted, he was starting to feel Oyashiro-sama's presence more strongly. He finally realized he couldn't talk to me about it. When I did, it looked like she was joking. She just calmly told me that what had been going on. I couldn't even move. I couldn't tell if her words were a joke or the truth. I could really feel stunned. I'm from Inazawa eventually, but I moved to Ibaraki Prefecture right before I went to elementary school. However, when I could adjust to my new environment, Oyashiro-sama frequently started telling me to return to Inazawa in my head, but I couldn't do anything since I was just a little kid. I was forced to live there, though I felt threatened by Oyashiro-sama's voice. And then Rita paused. She looked like she knew to go into details of what followed. In general, she confused me even more. Anyway, I was able to come back here in the end. Oyashiro-sama forgave me. I haven't felt his presence anymore since then. Satoshi-kun is being subjected to the curse even though he's in Inazawa. Why? There's only could be one reason. It's because he wishes to abandon Inazawa. Oyashiro-sama won't allow that. After a series of monologues, he confessed. You know he's working part-time, don't you? The teddy bear screen for Satoko-chan costs about 100,000 yen. He's trying to get that money by her birthday. Have you noticed it yet? Think about it like this. If he had that amount of money, that would be enough for him to run away somewhere far away from here. He unconsciously started to think about that, about leaving Satoko-chan behind, but he felt very guilty. As you point out, Satoko-chan is a burden on him. He's not stupid, so he's aware of that. He just doesn't want to admit it because he's the one who's supposed to protect his little sister. He's been struggling with himself. He thinks he's working to please Satoko-chan on her birthday, but he also feels that he might be deceiving himself because he unconsciously wants to skip town with that money. I don't think he should run away. Even if he did, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Oyashiro-sama knows that. That's why Oyashiro-sama is trying to warn him. I hope Satoshi-kun stops thinking of abandoning Satoko-chan. He's working hard to make it Satoko-chan's birthday, which is a couple of days after the Tanagashi Festival. He's pushing himself too hard. He believes that he'll eat when Satoko-chan's birthday comes. The curse keeps cautioning him while he tries to figure out whether he should leave or continue protecting her. The torrential rain didn't seem to want to stop. It kept pouring down on the galvanized iron roof, producing a loud noise. Yet in shack, it felt completely silent. What the hell was Rita talking about? I couldn't grasp even half of what she was saying. The only thing I had figured out is that Satoshi-kun was struggling, confused, and lots of pain. He's suffering from Oyashiro-sama's curse, right? Rita has experienced that before. The Tanagashi Festival was right around the corner. Oyashiro-sama's curse was been struck 3 years in a row. There's no guarantee that it was struck a fourth time. Satoshi-kun was subject to Oyashiro-sama's curse even now. Was he going to skip town? Was he going to be the next victim of Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, But he might disappear forever. Can I do something to prevent it? If I had to do anything to call, because they're hopeless in, I started feeling a sense of dread. And then by the crazy story Randall told me, Satoshi Kon. But if it's really, but if something really was happening to Satoshi Kon, which, like, isn't there really why? Okay. Which might be some kind of I couldn't help me feeling scared. It's true, isn't it? My instinct is always correct, and decided to contact Mia despite the danger. Mia got upset at first, but she had listened to me. Sis, what's going on with Satoshi Kon? He looks stressed out. I can't even talk to him. What do you mean you don't know what's going on because you can't talk to him? Sorry. Sis, give me another chance to trade spots again. That's fine. Okay, I'm busy lately attending meetings for the festival. What are you planning to do? Another part-time job? I'm going to your school. Okay, guys, I want to apologize for how crappy this video was because of all my sniffling and coughing and my nasally voice and whatnot. I hope I can get better really soon because this just sucks. So I want to thank you guys if you stuck with me till the end, and I will see you guys next time.